welcome to Aussie Sim Racing live on Sensational TV tonight. We are taking on the Bend Motorsport Park, one of Australia's most challenging and technical circuits. At nearly 5 kilometres, the international circuit combines long, high-speed straights with a complex infield section, testing every aspect of driver's skill. Turn 1 comes up here fast. It demands precise braking and commitment, which is followed by the sweeping southern loop that rewards rhythm and smoothness. The back mini straight allows these Gen 3 supercars to stretch their legs before the tight right at the end, where the braking and cornering precision are crucial. That infield section is technical and unforgiving, with blind crests, off-camber corners and curves that punish the smallest error. Every lap tonight is a balance between speed, control and strategy. One misjudged corner can send a driver to the gravel, whilst a perfect lap can showcase the skill and bravery of all these drivers here tonight. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sensational TV. This is the Bend Circuit. This is Aussie Sim Racing, and you're watching it live here, right at your fingertips here on YouTube land. Let's go racing.
Oh, yes, indeedy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sensational TV. Buckle up your brain buckets and hide the kids' earmuffs, ladies and gentlemen, because it's the Gen 3 supercars. They have descended on the bend like a flock of magpies at a bin chicken picnic. The circuit is so big, it's got its own postcode, its own bus route, and rumours of a Bunnings somewhere turning out at turn 14. Drivers have been leaving breadcrumbs just to find the pit lane. And there's one bloke still circling in the infield, thinking he's in a time trial for the Dakar Rally. Sharing the commentary bunker with me tonight, as always, a man banned from 3 indoor karting centres for creative interpretations of physics. Zach O'Reilly. He once tried to tow a broken sim rig home using an Uber XL and a bungee cord. And he's the only person to do a track walk in thongs, a tuxedo t-shirt and a VR headset. He's filed tax returns under motorsport visionary and snack-based strategist. Zach, wonderful to have you back. Keep your shoes on your desk and your conspiracy theories off the drivers' radios. It's time to go racing here for Gen 3 supercars, mate. And it's a wonderful occasion here at the Bend Motorsport Park.
It is. It's a cracking circuit, one of the most technical circuits we've ever been to, in fact, and it just comes with age. Everyone was a bit sceptical of this track when it opened. I don't really know about it. And then once they got their asses on the tarmac and got themselves back into it, they were like, holy mackerel, what have we got here? And geez Louise, it's a great place to be. And I'll tell you what, there will be no VR headsets tonight. There will be all eyes on the real stuff. Don't need spectacles because I'm not 58 years old. And it's going to be all 2020 visions focused on these boyos driving around in these Gen 3 supercars tonight. This is where we are at Shell V-Power Motorsport Park. Don't worry about the track map. These guys will draw it for you. And it's a big, long technical circuit. 4.88 kilometres at the international realm. 33 degrees outside. And I'll tell you what, looking pretty sunny there. 37% chance of some precipitation at some stage. But qualifying is a 2-lap shootout tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's incredible. 16 laps, race 1, and then race 2 is going to be followed, or proceedingly after, a second qualifying, which is a reverse grid sprint, ladies and gentlemen. So who the hell is going to end up where is where we will find out. So wherever you start in race 1, right to the back, you old son, then you're going to have to do it the hard way in a 3-lap sprint to find out where you sit on the race for race 2. Goodness gracious me, Chris.
Yeah, absolute. What a cracking format that is. They finished up qualifying because we had a few little technical dramas in the background. But Justin Pennyfather has got on his big 2-wheeled bicycle, one with one very large wheel and one with very small wheel at the back, and has taken pole position over Stephen Varga. And Varga has actually taken the chockies here in the championship already. So mathematically, he is the champion. But driving for pride tonight, Jacob Smith and Jeff Price off the second row. Ash Rogers, who is Wayne Rogers' son by all accounts, there off the third row with Carl Brittingham. Harry Potter's off the fourth row there, waving his magic wand, looking for a bit of Acceleramus there with Wade Georgeson as well, the man at the helm here at Aussie Sim Racing, should I say. Hang on a moment. Brock Clark, David Jansen, Christopher Munro. How do I get myself off the grid? Oh dear, this could be wild, folks. I need to get myself off the grid. I don't know how. Hopefully they can avoid me coming past on the way through, because I've got no idea. I'm an iRacing virgin, if that's even a thing.
If it looks like it to you, right on the racing line there as well at the back.
Yeah, I know.
So it's going to be interesting to see. But who's going to take the absolute chockies here? Smaller grid here in the Gen 3 Supercars. That doesn't matter. The racing is going to be absolutely top notch. And these boys are getting ready to rock and roll. It looks like your name's grayed out there, Christopher Munro. So that might be a good sign that you will be gone off the racetrack by the time these guys circulate around one more time here at Buck style. But the racing's not too far away here. It's a good looking grid too, by the way. Look at that purple, yellow, green, whatever, black and white, black and yellow, you name it. The lights are up, Chris. We're about to go racing. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get sorted out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who can pip them for the lead. But it is a pretty good... Oh, I mean, look at that cracking start from Varga. There's a reason why he's at the start of this grid. And there it is right there. Perfect start. And he will lead down into turn one. But the battle is on for second with Ash Rogers going around the outside. Pennyfather is up the inside. Does take second position with Price slotting in behind them. We got Jacob Smith as well. Under pressure there a little bit from Brock Clark. But these guys are well behaved on their first opening lap here. No battles, no worries here. But there's a little bit of a battle here with Potter looking up the inside of Brittingham. But lets him go through on the first lap. Wade Georgeson sits behind them in the Mustang, looking nice and indeed hooked up with David Jansen there as well. My car is hopefully in the pits. It looks that way. But let's go back up to the front. Stephen Varga out there by about half a second to Pennyfather, who's just sitting there just on the edge of the suck here down at the Bend Motorsport Park. And then there's a big gap there too. Rogers starting to form with Jeff Price just behind him and Smith as well. These guys are well behaved on their first lap, Zach. And I guess on the cold tyres, it's a hairy track to go on the full attack straight out of the gate.
Yeah, you've got a lot of loaded corners there on the tyres, so you've got to be careful and actually friendly to them, because they would just start to die in the arse if you get them cold and on that firewall for sure. But a lot of car behaviour shown here by Jacob Smith in the purple Fanta livery. Goodness gracious me, that's a nice flavour of Fanta, if you don't mind. So he will be flying tonight, will Smithy, but he's got good company in front of him. We've got the price is right. Hopefully it's not the price is wrong, as the old Happy Gilmore comes out, but he's on there at the moment. Look at this man at the back here, flicking his wand every which way he possibly can. The old Harry Potter Acceleramus, as you said, and maybe an Accello Patronum as well. He can just put himself straight up the grid if there's another one for him. But Ramjam at the moment rounds the first lap here in 8th place, down one position, so he lost the place off the Brit as well. And then they're filing themselves through. Big gap at the moment, 4-5 tenths of a second only between the front two, but then 2 and a bit as well after Rogers to Price, who's got himself a very good opportunistic move here. Look at that, straight down the inside. He's trying to fire. Here's the Price. He's got the job done. Rogers has just gone fat around the outside. The shallow entry and apex worked there for AJ, and he's got the job done, I think, just at the point of not. Thank goodness me, because the Price was coming through at the moment. And here comes Smitho. He's trying to spread Fanta all over the windscreen so they can't see out the front. It goes hot and sticky really quick. Sent down the inside there at the moment. Here's Price too. Look at that for a move there. All checked up was Rogers as well, so we've got to look out for him. He's struggling here in the opening stanza. Goodness gracious me, in the fair dinkum department. Price out in front. He's got the price right, that is for sure. And his game day is on at the moment. AJ Rogers falling down one, although still one position up where he started. And we've got to see what Smith can do here, because he was in 3rd place. He'll be as dirty as a you-know-what after that one. 2 positions down here in 5th.
Yeah, needs a shower, I think, but he's certainly got the pace there. But Rogers just seeming to be a little bit of a cork in the bottle at this point in the race. Maybe those tyres just not up to temperature yet, but I tell you what, the Phantom Man is tipping it on ice here at the moment, just trying to get past. But the Mitre 10 driver there as well in that entry is Brock Clark, chiming in on the back here, making this a nice little 3-way battle, all covered by about 3 tenths the difference. Carl Brittingham is chiming in as well. So the longer that these guys battle, there will be some sort of prize that will fall into his lap. I'll tell you what, at the front it's starting to kick off as well. 2/10 the difference is the gap there between Varga and Pennyfather, but that has now dropped out to about 4/10. So we're going to keep our eyes on this little four-way battle because that's where the action's happening, folks. And they go down the front straight of the bend for the second time. It's a cracking circuit, and it very much goes against the sort of status quo of Australian tracks out there. There's not many that are GP standard, I guess, in terms of width and length. There's a lot of tight turns. Oh, look at that. Wide there from Price. That'll invite, Rogers. That'll invite Smith. Goodness me, it's been a long day, folks. We've been watching Bathurst with the help of a few adult beverages. So let's try and make our way around this race. Oh, big lock up there from Smith. There's a bit of smoke coming out the front. Goes up the side there of the tradie entry. And now that Mustang's got the jump on him around this next little section, which is very tough on the left-hand set of tyres. 3 or 4 right-hand turns in a row. But there you go. The tradie gets through. And Smith just has to go back to the drawing board here and try and figure out where he's going to get this overtake done.
Yeah, he's looking very, very racy at the moment. At this stage is Rogers. He's definitely got one of them going on in his pants too at this point. He's skipped away. He's got about 5 or 6 tenths now, I think, between himself and the Phantom Man, going for a little bit of a look up the inside. Now the Mitre 10, trying to do a 10 out of 10 job and get past cleanly here is Clark on Smith, who's looking a little bit vulnerable here, and he's got half centred up the inside. Won't get that job done now. I'll give you the hot tip.
Oh.
But, that's wide there. There goes Phantom Man, and that's all the invitation that Clarko needs. He's gone straight up the inside, Clark Rubber style, and going for it there too. My goodness gracious me, this is incredible stuff. Great clean overtaking, but an unforced error there from Clark, and that gap at the front there, ladies and gentlemen, between the Mexican and the Dollar Dad is still 5/10 of a second. They're having a look at each other. They're thinking about it. It's a 55.6 versus a 55.7 as they cross the line, and keep your eye out on that gap because it's starting to increase, decrease, you name it, going topsy-turvy. But this battle pack here at the back, very, very evenly paced in the fair England department. And let's just see how they go. We've got O'Dra in the chat there asking us a quick question. Do you have any race control or safety car drivers, etc.? Well, this is iRacing, mate. We just broadcast it. And you're an official in real life, so you would love to get involved. We'll give the guys at Aussie a bit of a contact here if you're interested in Gen 3 Supercars, or if you're interested in Sensational as well. We've got our own leagues going up. We just had one, if you look at the past stream there too. For the Supercars, we would love to have you on board. Just click the link in the description for our Discord and you can come and join the fun here or at Aussie as well. Yeah, just DM me when you get into the Discord. I am Munro in the Discord. Just send me a DM and say expressing your interest. Goodness me. It's been a long day, folks. I'm going to say that. Raise a ticket, do something. Get my attention in there and we'll continue that conversation because more hands make the lighter work. Oh, no! Stephen Varga has been turned there by Pennyfella, and that's just given the rest of the field a bit of a free kick because here comes Price. He comes around that turn and licks his lips, and his eyes are the size of dinner plates and goes, oh, gee whiz, here we go. The boys are getting right stuck in, and I'm going to insert myself in this little battle here. Does he have the pace to hold up with these guys? Maybe not, but I'll tell you what, if they keep battling like that, he might be certainly a chance. Yeah, the Aussie green and gold there. It's not canary yellow. I'll give you the hot tip. And he's going for it too in the background. So the Aussie's having a good look here, his Price. But I'll tell you what, Dollar Dad just nearly spent the last one he had and nearly tipped the Mexican around. Full 360 style. They gathered each other up pretty nicely. That'll be a little bit of an incident safety rating. This membership as well on behalf of Pennyfather. Has he got any damage steering-wise? No, he hasn't. He's trying to look up the inside here into turn one. Look at the onboard view. Just cracking looking cars, these two. I'll tell you what, on iRacing, they got it right. But geez Louise, in the fair dinkum department, these two are super racy. Price is just looking for an absolute disaster to spell once again between these two, and that's Pennyfather unforced erring himself wide at turn 3. Not the place you want to do it, because this man here, 56.7s, coming at a rate of knots in the Aussie green and gold. Well, you can call it Aussie green and gold, but it's got John Deere on it. But bugger it, that's what we're going to call it here. The Aussie tractor going for a good little spin here, Christopher Munro. And it's not over here at the back here. We've got Smith and Clark. Or in fact, Clark's got a little bit of pressure going on here between himself and Jacob Smith. Mitre 10 livery does look fantastic as well, but these two are looking pretty racy here, Christopher. Purple Fanta just needs to shake that bottle a bit and put it all over the track in front of him, and off into the bunda goes that Mitre 10 car of Clark.
Yeah, I think just needs to settle it down a little bit. You can see the body language of that car just getting a little bit loose here and there. Certainly pace under the belt there, as we saw him up a few spots earlier, coming a gutser and letting Clark through that time. But I tell you what, we've got to go up to the front because the battle's on here for the lead of the race. Varga has his hands full here with Pennyfather chiming in. This is the final round of this series, folks, and this is the first round that we have actually commentated on all of them. So we're just trying to get used to who's who at the moment, and that's a tall order at the best of times. But we're going to do our best to bring you guys some fantastic coverage, as we do here at Sensational TV. The Gen 3s are our bread and butter. Don't you worry about that. We had a Mickey Mouse League out there on Assetto Corsa, but now we're here for the real thing. So let's see what Pennyfather can do here. He's got Varga in his sights. Varga obviously very talented there in the Gen 3. Not the Mustang, the other bloody car, not the Holden either. Here he goes, up the inside. Little bit of maybe contact there from the Mustang. Gets through Pennyfather, and he was just waiting for that mistake there to happen from Varga and just took full advantage of that and says, thank you very much. I'll be coming back next time for it.
Yeah, the old Mexican got done with his own tricks there, just trying to sneak across the border. And Pennyfather just comes in with his dollars and just said, no, I'm going to take that one away from your son. Here's some payout, and you can find your way back into second. Cracking racing from both of them. I don't think there was any contact between them. If there was, it was an absolute Morse code sort of little dot on the actual spectrum, but it was fair, clean, opportunistic. And now this absolute, my favourite section of the circuit right here where we are, is this battle between Smith and Rogers. Rogers 100% has shrunk a little bit here in the old dead set department of the Rogering, and just thinking about what he can do, because that tradie entry Camaro David Reynolds style is under all sorts, always got doors and bits of paint missing off it and whatever in real life. He's trying not to replicate that here at the moment. That was a weird line there in front there from Clark, in fact, in the Mitre 10 Mustang, but these two still going hammer and tong. And I think at the moment it's looking like Brittingham and the Wizard are coming back into this battle. They're just creeping up. You can see on the timing bar there, it's just leaning on that edge of a couple of seconds between those two, but this battle has just shrunk absolutely as much as Rogers just did too in his pants, and now he's got a real good opportunity as Smith. A little bit of unforced error. Look at him, full off. He's overcooked it into that final second last turn. In fact, nearly went off the track. They had to check himself up. Goodness gracious me, Jacob Smith will be just licking his chops again, and he's wide in two corners in a row, and that's the overlap. But no, Smitho thought he was turning in on him, just didn't counter steer when he needed to, lost all of that drive. He just could have got onto the front straight away. He's going to have to think about it one more time here. Can't get in the slipstream here far enough. He's 3 car lengths back, so a send here would be unwise. However, he doesn't care. He's real strong under brakes here, is Smith. That was a cracking little bit of car control there, just full planted it in. Knows he's got that advantage. He can tick that one off in his head. Now he's going to try and go for a switch back here at turn 3. He's nearly on, but look at the Brittingham in the background just creeping in. So are these other guys too. Boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, these guys are racing now. Could be a 4-5-way suck car train here for the battle over 5th place.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. It's a tough circuit to overtake as well. There's only a few opportunities really, down maybe into turn 6. Obviously turn 1. I'd say turn 17 if you're feeling lucky, but here he goes now around the outside. Let's see how he can get it done here in the Fender car, all the way with the momentum around turn 8. That's fantastic stuff, and up the hill again. But I'll tell you what, the guy in the tradie livery there, Jacob Smith as Rogers, is just right under pressure here. Carl Brittingham has right up under the rear wing too as they get up to the 3rd sector now, and the run down into turn 13. This is a great turn as well. Uphill, a little bit of camber too. You can chuck it in. Just trust the front end. Get on the throttle as hard as you possibly can, and the run down into turn 14. This is, well, it looks like Rogers has gone wide there. That's going to invite Brittingham up, and look at that. Potter's waving his magic wand, and he's got the bloody Hagrid on his back and says, here we go, son, let's take it all the way through to P7, and he's right up under the, well, he's not right up under the rear wing. I'm over-dramatising things here, folks, but welcome to Sensational for all the viewers. Now, there's Rogers off. That's going to be a position or two lost there to Brittingham and Potter. They both go up, get a little 2 for 1 there. Thank you very much. And poor old Rogers, man, he started well, he qualified well, but he's just going backwards in this race.
Yeah, he is, and he's just, his son, Rayno, will be in the chat soon, just absolutely giving him a pasting on for sure here, because Ash has just lost 2 for 1. Speaking of which, the leader has just come into the pits, has the Mexican, so he's in there just having a couple of tequila shots and putting back his sombrero on after a little bit of a breather, and he'll come back out for sure. The Dollar Dad is out in front. He's looking for it at the moment and trying to sing for the high heavens here. Look at this. Harry Potter is on a charge. He's got a little bit of something under his belt here at the moment. I think he's going to come to grips in this one, but that man on your screen right now, dead set having a mare in the final 2 corners there at the last lap. And he's got to reconsolidate those, Ashley, and just go for another one. He won't be Rogering anyone tonight in the Rogers House. I'll give you the hot tip. But this rate, if he gets right up there, he will be looking for some sort of action after our style there, Christopher.
He sure will. I love the Rogering call there. Beautiful commentary there from Zach O'Reilly. Carl Brittingham and Ramjam Potter are your closest battle on track. Let's see, the gap's about 8/10 here at the moment, and we've still got, what's that, 35 minutes to go in this first race. I'm looking forward to the second qualifying session. I'll tell you what, a 3-lap reverse grid shootout to see who takes the grid in race 2. That's fantastic. That's a great idea. Actually, we're gonna implement that perhaps in a Wednesday Cup race coming along in the near future. But Pennyfather is now in the pits as well, just rolling up that super long pit lane down there in the southern state. The southernest state? No, I think Victoria is more southern.
Is,
yeah. It's,
Tasmania is.
Tasmania, obviously, but we always forget about Tasmania, as I did just now. It's easily forgettable. It's a beautiful place. I want to get there one day in the future, but tell you what, we're going to have to come up with things to talk about, because these guys are all coming into the pits now at the moment. Price is in, Clark's in, Bittingham's in, Rogers is in as well. But Smith has taken over the lead of the race in the Phantomobile.
Well, the map of Tasmania might be forgotten on the old atlas, but I can tell you what, it's not forgotten on the human anatomy, that's for sure. Yes. And we do all know about that one. And they're still going for it here in the second or third southernmost state of the country here in Australia. That is Jacob Smith. First time he's leading this race tonight, although not on par, but still P1 is P1. All he has to do is clip this by 10 seconds, and Jacob Smith leading this race. Well done, son. You're actually leading by a country mile here at the moment. 3.3 seconds on fire. Hope your mates at school just give you some sort of G up because of this. After this one, you're leading the race, mate. Doesn't matter in the Phantomobile, and he's just starting to sit himself a little bit more calmer. 58.138 was his last lap. So it's amazing what a bit of clean air can actually do to the vehicle and your own psyche as well. It really, really helps you just get into that mental mind game that you need to. And he just needs to take a little bit more of that track. Use it all, mate. That's what the black stuff's there for you to use it all. And you'll find 4 or 5 tenths easily. Just a bit of confidence to gain in these Gen 3 cars. Not easy to muscle yourself around here at the bend. A very, very difficult track. But they really, really do shine here. It's one of the tracks that I reckon the Gen 3 supercars are suited the most to. Where is Varga? He's out in front of the Dollar Dad. So the Mexicans got back out in front. He undercut the big man, and Pennyfather just at that point in time thought he was going to have the race lead effective. Oh no! He's looped it around nearly 360. Goodness me, that was just about 190, 200 degrees there. Gathered it up, but I'll tell you what, the Mexicans just skipped over the border, and I'll tell you one who won't be happy about that will be this man right here on the screen, the Dollar Dad. letting the Mexican get free and skip his way back off into his own territory.
Dollar Dad. I love it. The old the currency exchange just not working out for him there with the Mexican dollar beating him out, and in all facets of the game. 5 seconds the difference now. Big mistake there from Penny Father. So he goes back to the drawing board. Who's next in line? It's going to be Jeff Price with Smith and Potter both choosing to take their pit stop. But look at that car.
Where's his bumper?
Yeah, it looks a little bit second-hand for sure. Oh, my goodness. It's gone, Skis. The front bar's gone. No downforce on the front at all. Dead set. Just feeling his way around, using a bit of the front wheel scrubbage.
Looks like he's gone to a medical surgery. He's gone to the medic. He's gone to the doctor to just get his appendix out, and they've taken off his whole playground and swings.
Yeah, a little rhinoplasty. I guess that's the term for it when you get a bit of a nose job.
The front fell off.
The front fell off. That's it. Yep. Easy as that. And I guess it happens sometimes. The front falls off. So you're not having a good day when it does, but look, do your best out there.
Yeah, look, if it falls off, it's probably the worst day. If it just doesn't perform, well, then you're actually okay. It's always another day to live up to. But
it's true.
When it's completely gone, it hurts you, and that downforce will be absolutely nowhere for him. He'll definitely lose something with that front splitter gone, and also the added amount of drag that thing will just be throwing a brick air. I reckon a cow would be more aerodynamically efficient than that thing at the moment. But Clark at the moment doesn't care about that. He's up 4 spots. He's in 5th place at the moment. And he's really, really handling the back here of Smith again. So he's got back onto the Fender man and just thinking about it right now. So what can Clark Rubber do here? Is he going to think about the long game? Is he going to think about just saving those tyres and not overcooking them? That was an oversteer moment there, and he caught it beautifully. It didn't even look like it was going to be happening. But he just got it pulled up in the last minute. It did lose him about 3 or 4, 5 or tenths, though, however, Chris. So not the ideal situation for him. Just has to regather himself, get himself some rhythm back into his brain, and hopefully that Smith in front of him absolutely sends it into the bunda and he can get a free 4th place.
Yeah, absolutely. What's Multi Ninja saying? What, Munro with another shocker? Wow. I don't know. My brother's not even racing in this one, but you can comment on my commentary anytime. I didn't think it was that bad, whatever I said, but I'll tell you what. I've said worse. Don't you worry about that. Stephen Varga does lead the race. He's got 10 seconds on Pennyfather down here in the Mustang as well, doing a great job. Jeff Price. The price is right. Evidently today, he's up there in the P3 position, even though that car is looking very second-hand indeed. The John Deere is more like a John Veal at the moment. Served up on a plate and ready to be consumed, possibly by Jacob Smith, who's closing down on him and probably is per corner because that car is in a little better shape and obviously has a lot more downforce. And this is a circuit, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the part of the circuit as well where you need as much of that front downforce as possible coming through that little complex of 7, 8, 9 and 10. You need that splitter pushing whatever it is, 170 kilos. It's not much, folks, considering how heavy these cars are. But every little bit counts when getting that rubber to road. In that
about 2 of you, isn't it?
1.5 at this stage. I've got to lay off the old. I've got to lay off the old Hungry Jacks. But don't worry, the missus has signed me up to the gym, and we're waiting for New Year's Eve so we can make a little pact. What's it called? A New Year's resolution that we may or may not use that that gym membership next year.
Well, look, as I say, I went to the gym, or I went to gym. It could be 2 people, so just be careful how you choose your words there, Christopher Munro, because if you find a friend named Jim, you're going to be singing to the high heavens, but the kegs won't fall off. So probably the old physical evidence department won't help you there, but doesn't matter. We're rambling on too much here. Smith is going for it at the moment here in 4th place, 156.626. So he is improving. His best was a 157.1, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So he's found half a second with all that clean air in front of him. I'll tell you what, the brother of what's his name, bloody Russell, is just going for it here at the moment in ninth. He's looking for something. He had to think of on the fly for that one. Didn't have anything. And Wado is just circulating around 2 minutes. It's probably his first or second go at the moment here in these supercars. He'll find his feet. Don't you worry about that. And he's just happily just cutting in laps. Lap time is practice, ladies and gentlemen, and only practice makes perfect. So don't you worry about where you start. It's about how far you can get yourself further up the grid. And just cool, calm, and collected. He's Russell's brother, that's for sure. And he's going for it here. And we'll see what he can do. And the gap between Rogers is starting to thin out a little bit, just under or thereabouts that 1 second mark there on your timing tower. You can see it decreasing and increasing. Looks like it could be a little bit of a battle as the pack feathers out, I would say, in the midway stage of this stanza here, Christopher.
Feathers out, yeah, that's what you want, folks. Like a proud peacock, just getting them out there. But this might be showing my age a little bit as well. The what's that show called? The Jetsons. The Jetsons. Does anyone remember that one? That's probably you do. Yep. George's son was called Elroy, so possibly Wade Elroy, George's son, could be the next cab off the rank. Goes a little bit wide there as well. Maybe doesn't like that nickname, but Elroy, I like it. He's it could be one to stay. He's we've seen him on the Tuesday night GT3 league as well. They're tuning in this week for round 3 or 4, I believe, at Phillip Island. So that's going to be an absolute cracker to see Elroy in charge and in action down there as well. Look at Rogers though; he's made his way up behind Harry Potter here at the moment, and I tell you what, he's dropped the old wizard's wand, and Rogers is right up behind and giving him a bit of old hurry up Aramis. Is that a spell?
Hurry up Aramis.
Yeah.
I was going to say they've started measuring their wands at the moment between each other. He's got the bigger one. It looks like Rogers is starting to grow up a little bit there. If you know what we mean, and he's just creeping on the back. It was 1.2 seconds, and now it's only 8 or 9 tenths thereabouts. So you can see them just starting to edge closer to each other and make sure that they can get themselves honest and up there, because it's a fair way of a gap between Potter and Brittingham there, the old British pig in 6th place there. He's going for it for himself. But if this move is on very, very shortly here, Christopher, I reckon it could be a Wingardium Leviosa battle. Who's going to be absolutely left off the circuit and lifted off into the air and lose a position with especially this car at the moment. It's absolutely been, what do they call it? He's got on the front of that one, if we can speak in Harry Potter, he's got the invisible cloak on at the moment on that front bumper bar.
Avada Kedavra. It's done for. It's dead. And in the water here as well, because Smith has made up that gap in absolutely no time. I thought it might be a little bit longer that Price could hold him back there. But yeah, that extra 1.5 Munros downforce at the front of that Mustang has brought him right up behind the Camaro of Jeff Price in an absolutely stunning fashion. So he's just going to be shot in the water here soon, and maybe one more lap that Price can enjoy himself up there in the podium positions. I don't know how long it takes to repair that sort of damage in this platform of iRacing, but I assume because it's so it's touted as the most realistic sim getting around, isn't it? So possibly that's a 2.5 day job and about a 3.5 grand according to my mechanic down here at home.
Well, if the mechanic's got the old reference in there, well, he could just say that it could be the be-all, end-all, the final say in the most realistic department of simulators out there. Tell you what, you pay a fortune for it. You have to mortgage your house to get in here, and that's what these boys are doing. And I reckon Price is going to have to think about maybe upping the rent a bit on some of his investment properties to pay for that front damage on his car at the moment. But he's still doing it and fighting well, considering there's no downforce on the front end of that thing. Whether iRacing just takes that off on the Gen 3 supercar, I don't know, because effectively they do next to nothing. Apparently 180 kilos is nothing, as you said, 2.5 Munros, and at the moment he's still driving really well. But on board with Jacob Smith, we're going to see how he navigates this part of the circuit. Just keep an eye on his steering wheel inputs, ladies and gentlemen. See what he does. So he angles it in there, and then he just lets the steering wheel open on the end of it and just go for it. So that is a cracking little bit of driving. Cool, calm and collected. Turns it in relatively early, but then he can get on the throttle to use a little bit of extra track width to make make sure he gets the car pointed towards the exit here as early as he can, which means he can shoot it out the other side and put that power down. It's going to be a little bit of a learning process for him, because once you get in that dirty air behind these Gen 3 supercars, it does become a little bit hairier to try and get an overtake on. But if Smith keeps driving like this and Price keeps driving like he is at the moment, it could be over by the shouting in just a lap or two's time if Smitho can get the gallop on.
Yeah, I mean, with 12 minutes to go, and after Price, he's got another 12 seconds up the road, 2 penny farther. So he knows that the best he can probably do here is P3. So he doesn't have to rush this overtake, folks. He can just sit there behind and wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. And just take these next couple of laps and get the old black book out and write in the compendium that I mentioned in the previous race that we broadcast tonight. Yeah, the old compendium of drivers' weaknesses and strengths. Tell you what, folks, if you haven't got a mental compendium going of all your competitors, then you're behind the 8 ball to start with. But I'll tell you what, all he has to do is just sit back there behind Pricey at the moment and just wait for the mistake, because he certainly has the pace. Down the straight and through this little section here, we'll see through 7, 8, 9 and 10. This is one of the most underrated sections, I think, of Australian motorsport on track. You don't get a lot of people talking about the bend. Multi Ninja says, spell that word. Mate, we've been watching Bathurst all day. I've enjoyed a fair few adult beverages over the course of said day. I couldn't spell compendium at the best of times, let alone. No, we've got. You just quickly Google it, and we'll get that. No. Look, some people are geniuses and can spell compendium without the use of Google.
If you did grade 4 English and you can still remember it, it's just 3 syllables. It's comp and then end and then dium, D-I-U-M, easy. Comp and dium, easy.
There you go.
Don't even need the Google. That's how good we are
that
here.
Was, we're in the spelling bee of 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Come and pit your skills at the Sensational Discord. Who can outspell the other? We might even do that as an end of year little fun run. You got to do 5 laps as fast as you can, and then come off and spell the most difficult word you can. Maybe that's the ticket, folks. That's what you want to see. A bit of talent on the track, and then spelling bee off the track.
They've got 3 seconds to answer the question and start spelling, because there's no way you could put in a word that would give them something that they would have to think about for sure without Googling it. So it's going to be pretty much a countdown from whenever they do it. But look, I reckon the person who comes out with the most Shakespearean-like conversion of one of our famous lines could win it, just based on the humour. We'll see if that works as well. So, yeah, especially if, a couple of repeated phrases by Munro, a couple of things by me that they've heard over here, like it's on like Donkey Kong.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
It could be oneth like the monkeyeth from Tarzan. Who knows? But then we could see what happens between these two. And it's happening here right now, because Jeffrey Price is under all sorts of pressure. Look at that car just dip and dive and roll on the G-force meter there as well. That roll bar very, very loose in the front end there for Smith, because Price is under all sorts. Just gets that car. That's the line to take, ladies and gentlemen. You just go a little bit wider. It's only like about a tyre width wider on approach, and you dart it out the other side, and it helps. Oh my goodness me. That was nearly Morse code stuff. In fact, it's about to turn into it. Goodness gracious me. In fact, Smith here right now on the back end of Pricey. They're going for it. Oh, there's contact there too. That was hairier than a Greek's back. I'll give you the hot tip. And as they just managed to get their way through this corner, they've got 2 more corners to go. Can Pricey hang on here, because Smith is coming at a rate of knots? He's forced it out the other side, but just oversteered it and had to get on the brakes to not counter that car into the wall. Smith here is just under all sorts of pressure in his own head. He knows he's quicker. He's getting frustrated sitting behind Price here, and it's another lap to go. But that is the checkered flag.
Oh, it is.
Pricey comes out, gets the job done for 3rd place. Smith gets 4th, and the Mexican took the chockies over Dollar there for 1st and 2nd place by 8.3 seconds. Oh, geez, the British pig there's got over in 6th place. Clark Rubbers in 5th. Potter in 7th place. The old Erection in 8th, and the old George Russell's father right there in 9th place to finish off the grid with Jansen. Jansen did finish as well. He's there as well. is that Swedish or is that Finnish or what?
Janssen. Yeah, somewhere in the top end of the world. Scandinavian.
He's in Australia. Look at his livery.
Yeah, look, there's such thing as immigration in these days and ages. He might be fourth generation from the Viking days. Who knows? But usually the son at the... this guy here, George Son. Son is a dead giveaway of being Scandinavian because I think all the surnames of that time were all just... you're the son of George, so your last name is George Son.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the old... I thought anything with ski on the end of it, like Farkovsky and Barovsky and...
That's more like a Russian...
Finnish, is it?
Maybe a little bit
Russian?
Yeah, a little bit more to the west, but certainly in the Scandinavian countries, Son is the whatever the word is, prefixing Son. That's certainly.
I'm gonna have to apologise to one Jesse Marshall because compendium is 4 syllables. I said 3, and he's pointed me out in the chat.
Oh, he's
there
called
as well.
you out. Yeah,
but this
right.
is the heat here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 3 lap dash reverse grid that we've got going on. The Mexican and Dollar at the back of the field, they're all starting to form up here. So it's gonna be the old Scandinavian out in front here for this one. Munro is definitely not there. Janssen is out the front. Georgian gets himself off the second place with the old Erection in third. Harry Potter in fourth. The old British Pig in fifth. And you got Clark Rubber, Steve Smith, Lovechild. Price is wrong. Dollar Dad and Mexican round out the whole grid here, and they're off and racing at Christopher Munro. And it looks like an absolute shit-out start. Oh, my goodness me. That is disaster there for big man. Jensen's just pissed himself, and so is Penny. Oh, my goodness me. The British Pigs just punted off the Phantom Man, and they are all sideways. Tip-top battle. They thought it was race over by the start of it, and they're all going hammer and tongue. That's just going around as well. Oh, goodness gracious me. The Mexicans just thrown the old Bex the sombrero. Just had enough, and he's nearly punted off someone else as well. The Phantom Man's got through. The Mexicans out. Dollar Dad's even got punted there too. Goodness gracious me. What has happened here? It's just absolute sheep stations bumper car style here for the start of race 2 qualifier. Goodness gracious me. Jansen's come back out somehow in 6th place after all the nonsense that's happened there. Harry Potter's Wingardium Leviosa himself the wrong way down the grid. And here he goes again. Smith just no bumper sent up the inside goes. Thank you very much, mother, for the rabbits. Don't need any front wing. I just need all the rear wing. Comes out the other side here. What an opening first stanza there. Just carnage everywhere. The guys forgot their brains, forgot their heads, and just thought that there wasn't even a race going on here.
10 cars on the grid. You would have thought there was about 40 with that kind of shenanigans going on. Obviously, only it's a 3 lap race, but goodness gracious me. Brock Clark at the front in the Mitre 10 livery, doing great jobs here. He's 1.2 seconds clear of Jeff Price, but Penny Feather, Dollar Dad, looking up the inside and just punts him. You can't do that, mate. You're going to have to redress that. That's an absolute shocking overtake manoeuvre there. Oh, no, Pricey's just looped it too. Here goes Georgian through on the back of Ash Rogers. Both of those guys gaining a couple of positions for their troubles as well. Well, I tell you what, I love this. This is all action all the time. Here goes Varga around the outside of Jansen as well, giving him a little bath on the way down to turn 17, tipping it in and getting the job done. But how far can he make it up in 3 laps? Who bloody knows? But Brock Clark out there to a lead at the moment, 5 seconds clear. Penny Father doing a great job too. Ash Rogers could get a podium here as well with Georgeson, as long as he can hold off these 2 guys coming in at a rate of knots. Varga, we're going to ride on board with him. He's a little bit far back for the send, but I tell you what, in keeping trends with this race, he may as well fucking go for it, because I tell you what, they've left nothing on the table here so far.
Nah, nothing left. All the dollars have been handed out. Pennyfather's just dished it off to everyone and said, good luck to you, champs. The Mexican's really, really showing his pace, though, and prowess. He's just got a beautiful run there on Phantom Man, and they're having an absolute good old tussle. Too wide into this corner never works, but they're going to try and make it happen, and they do. That is absolute gutso there by the Mexican. Don't you worry about that. He's got the guitar out and he's singing some sort of melody at the moment to get himself back up the grid. Started from love. Yeah, I know. Who knows what they sing. But anyway, he's going for it. And he's got the man in front of him. We've got George Russell's love child having a good old tussle. He got thinking about some move here. He's got the pace. He's got the advantage. His car looks rather unscathed there as well for a bit of a turnaround. So pretty good there. Might have got his Mexican friends to fix it up in one corner. Oh, look on the slide there too. That was cracking stuff from Jordan. Just gathered that Mustang up, but now Vargas all over the back of him. What can he do? Oh, look at that Tijuana style. Just hands one out to him. Says that's it. Oh no, there goes Jordan. No, he's back on. He's here. He's gone. He's up, down. He's doing old Harry Potter's tricks there. Just puts the invisibility cloak on and thought he was going to exit it, but no, his race on. Vargas into 4th place. Pennyfather's 2 seconds off the lead thereabouts, and this man here, the old British pig, was the man who started all that. And there goes poor old George's love child. Goodness gracious me, in the fair dinkum department, just unwavered himself off the grid, and I thought this was a simulation. If it's a simulation, we're going back to Destruction Derby days here. It's all happening here in the qualifier.
Kia ora whanau, says Fabian Fitness, mate. Welcome to the chat. We didn't see you out there in the big bangers. It's a shame. I wonder how he'd go in the old big bangers. I reckon he'd go all right. But welcome to the stream. Here we are at iRacing, folks. If it's your first time out, it's ours too for the Aussie Sim Racing. It's the final round of their Season 2 Gen 3 Supercars series. And this man on screen, if I can find him, is the victor. Here he goes, up the inside of Ash Rogers. Thank you very much. He says this is through turn 2 and 3, I believe. Hard to tell without the track map. The map's just not coming up for some reason.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very bland circuit on the outside of the black stuff. There's nothing really to tell you what's going on. But that was certainly turn 6. Down they go through the excessive right hand turn sections of 7, 8, 9, 10. The funnest part of this circuit as well. If you can get the front end set up correctly, you can really just abuse it and do what you want with it, but it does burn up the outside left in a big way, so you don't want to be taking liberties too much. But this man on screen is your series victor, should I say. Mathematically cannot be beaten tonight, so he's just out there for the swinging balls, should we say, of the victory lap, and taking it to these guys. Indeed, 4 minutes to go in this race, and Brittingham, the British pig. There's a classic Black Mirror episode about that as well. Look into that, folks. I can't go into that on the stream because that is very much an adults only conversation, but he's got Jacob Smith right in front of him, about 4/10 the difference now, and closing in at a rate of knots.
Yeah, just when you thought that this race was going to get as bland as a boiled egg without salt, they're looking pretty racy here now. It started to calm down, and they're thinking about what they actually are going to do in the racecraft department. But that's race over because it was 3 laps, Chris. Come on, get your counter on, for Christ's sake.
That's twice.
They only had a 3-lap. It might be 10 minutes on the chat, but on the timing tower, but it's only 3 laps. And it's race win by Clark. I'll tell you what, Clark Rubbers come through with the goods. Pennyfather had absolutely nothing to answer for him there. Stuck at around 1.3 seconds. So great stuff. The Mexican championship winner and series leader, obviously, in 3rd place. Rogers gets 4th. Smith gets 5th. 6th for Brittingham. Janssen gets 7th with George Sun. I don't know what he's doing. The race isn't over yet, mate. Get back onto the field. Still not over. And Price was out of that one. Same with Potter. 2. So that is going to be a grid for the next race, ladies and gentlemen. Clark, Dollar Dad, Mexican, the erection, Smitho, British pig, the old Scandinavian flick, and George's love child.
Yeah, all good things happening there as well. I need to fix up this timing tower as well. It's showing me in minutes and seconds when it should be showing me in laps. So let me just actually let Zach O'Reilly talk us through a minute or two while I try and fix that up on my end.
Well, you know what they say in real life racing. It's never over until that checker flag is waved and the fat lady sings. And today we just saw that in the Bathurst IRL. Kiwis got the chockies over us Aussies. But it was all to play for, and it is all to play for here on this stream. Right now for Aussie, the championship may be over, but the fun doesn't end. We've still got one more to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Should be an interesting one there. Georgian just didn't even want to finish the race. He just looped it 5 or 6 times with the start-finish line 10 metres away from him. He was so close but didn't think about it. But Clark's going to start the race off the front row. We're about to get into that. Christopher Munro's just giving me an absolute fit here on the epileptic fit, in fact, because I don't know what's going on. But with the Bend circuit, what being one of the most notorious places in the land, It's good to have all of you with us here in the chat. It's going off at the moment. We've got Fabian Fitness in there saying poor Ryan Wood. Yeah, was pretty much was, mate. That was shocking there for him. A crank angle sensor or a cam angle sensor, I think it was, that put him out of the race. He definitely had the pace there. For a quick recap, James Golding just too ambitious there. Got himself a 5-second time penalty with 6 laps to go. Technically won the race, was the first across the start-finish line, but still secured third. And with the Kiwis, that's showing their pace. So I'll tell you what, Matty Payne knows how to do it in the long ones. He is a fine wine specialist. Just ages beautifully the longer the race goes on, he does, and shows some real pace. But we should see how it goes. A couple of people missing out on the finals too in the IRL V8 Supercars after that event too. Di Pasquale somehow got himself back in there with everyone else DNFing, but it was a very, very close race to the finish. One of the better Bathursts I've seen in terms of sitting on the sideline. I wish I was in the commentary box, because there would have been so many times where that calling action, Christopher, would have been 100% a lot more entertaining.
I tell you what, the 2 old codgers they've got in there, they just wheel them out every week. And it's only a matter of time before they get the old tap on the shoulder, especially with the talent that's coming up. Coming up the ranks. Our young commentator here on the channel as well, Lindsay Muddle. Tell you what, secured a deal with the Australian Formula Ford Championship, so he'll be Formula. Yeah, that's correct. Formula 4. Just chucking D's in. Got D's on the mind. That's
D's nuts.
Yeah, that's a worrying sign. But he's touring around with the Formula 4 Championship next year. So keep an eye out at your local racing circuit for our man Lindsay Muddle out there on the comms. I'm just waiting for them to come to Queensland Raceway so I can just turn up and do a Rabs. And just turn up and kick the door in and have a bloody go.
Jesus Christ. Leave that stuff to the professionals. You can do a Tony Gregg, I reckon. You can go up with Tony.
I can do very good Tony Gregg. I can do a bit of Richie as well. 2 for 22.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the US.
When in doubt, you go for spin. But I tell you what, we do have 7 minutes to kill. So maybe we should go for a little break. And or should we? We should just keep crapping on. I feel like the chat.
Let's keep crapping on.
Yeah, the chat's loving it. Give us something to talk about in the chat, and we will address the subject.
Hypothetical questions for you out there. This is the old 420 special questions coming your way here at Sensational TV.
Political.
Would you rather be stuck on an island with $400,000 at your behest, a abandoned stuck island, or would you rather be poor but live in a mansion with crippling debt? Give us your answers out there.
Well, I think we're all the second one, aren't we? It's 2025.
No,
we're all in crippling debt.
The way it's going at the moment, I'd rather be rich on an island by myself. That's just serenity. So if anyone wants to come and pick me up and just take me back to the mainland for a couple of weeks or whatever, I don't have any financial issues, I can just slip back right into normality and just go. Jesse Marshall's going to take the islands. Who's faster out of Chris or Zach, says Fabian Fitness. On the sim, 100% Christopher Munro's got the chockies over me because he won a championship. But in real life, if we went down to the local go-kart track, Chris would just put himself into the pits after lap 2 because I'd be already lapping him.
Yeah, no good in the go-karts. I'm too fat. I've got too much natural downforce. And biological
excuses again.
Biological downforce. And maybe in a real car might be the go. I don't know.
I got the Australasian Championship trophy. I don't need to print trophies out with my name on them like you do just for yourself.
No, I don't have any trophies here, actually.
Well, you do. You've got one.
No, I don't. I've got nothing. I've got darts trophies.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I didn't print those.
Flog me in darts, that's for sure.
Yeah. I didn't print those.
Who we all know has the quickest mouth, says Fabian. Well, yep, that's chockies all over and done there. There's no debate. What else? What else says Jesse Marshall? Well, Multi Ninja says, give me the debt. That's for sure. Jesse's going to offer to pick me up on the boat for supplies, which will be nice. Thanks, Jesse. I really appreciate it. Downforce is now officially rated in Munros, in fact, there, Christopher.
Yeah.
So let's just use that as the analogy. We need a Munro showdown. We do, actually, because Chris has got now no excuses left. They've both got sim rigs, and the only excuses are going to be, well, I've got better equipment and you've got the worst one. But if you go off history, it's a no-brainer. It's just a Munro in the Chris department demolition.
I'm not going to race little Matty because he's doing so well. I don't want to destroy his spirit. So we'll leave that to that. I'm just going to use this for testing Wednesday Cup cars, and hopefully we'll get some bloody good ones coming up. 4 minutes to go in the crap-on department, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Pennyfeather is the only man out there on circuit. Everyone else is having a little bit of a break.
Can I just put up a not a challenge, just a quick question?
Yeah.
If you go through a championship and you ask who's the quickest, does the quickest count even if you're like fourth in the championship or something like that? Because you could be quicker or just as quick, but other things could come into play. How does that work? Because there's so many quick drivers out there.
It depends. I think it depends over. It's a over one lap, or over a race distance, or over a championship distance as well. Because there are a lot of drivers that are really quick over one lap, and and can't put it together in a race. I'm faster, Fabian, in every facet. One lap, the whole race, the whole championship. I can go a race without putting it in the bloody bin. Don't you worry about that. So, yep. Oh, I don't think I've raced Fabian. He came around after I'd finished. So, you haven't witnessed the wrath yet. But we do a lot of commentating here, so I won't really get to race with you blokes unless, I don't know, for round 7 of a Wednesday Cup, the big dog gets to see the lure. And get Lindsay and Zach in the comm box, and we can actually swap every season. Zach can attack seasons or race 7, and then I can do the next one or whatever.
Well, I reckon we could just choose one competition that we run, whether it's a Wednesday or the Sunday. Yeah. Who wants to jump in on the Wednesday? Who wants to jump in on a Sunday for the last round and have a good old tussle?
Well, yeah.
This is actually speaking to ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, out there. But that could be interesting. But look at it, Ron. Fabian Fitness put out a good comment as well out there, Chris. I don't think many people have been given a trophy for smoking cigarettes, just like you have. So. Smoking darts, mate. That's,
that's it, Ron. Smoking any ganja lately? Not me. My body's a temple. Don't you worry about that. Haven't smoked the ganja for a long time. Jesse Marshall says he's pretty slow, but managed to finish well over a season or a long race. Well, that's it. It's about knowing your limits and keeping it on the black stuff. Really, at the end of the day, you can be quick over a lap, but you can push it too far and pretty much undo all your good work. We've seen the younger version of the Munro do that on multiple occasions. He did it again tonight, sticking his nose in there in a battle that was only going to end one way. Either him or Ben Hines facing the wrong way, and he lost that flip of the coin on that occasion. Sent me some texts as well. I haven't got around to reading them because it's a big long. It's quite a long thing. So I'll read those afterwards. But we are at round 8 here of the Aussie Gen 3 V8 season 5, in fact, at the Bend International Circuit. 30% fuel. This is the final round. So. A minute to go. These guys are going to be gridding up for the final race. It's going to be... Maybe that was just a warm-up. Or we got 16 laps to go. Who knows? We're going to find out in just a moment.
We will find out in just a moment. I nearly fell asleep there after you were just talking for 500 words there without me.
Mate. Sorry, I got carried away.
But, you know, I'm still here. There is a storm brewing outside, in fact, and the power has flickered here once.
Ooh.
So I don't know if I'm going to be around for much longer.
Oh, goodness.
But we will find out with the checkered flag waved on that warm-up session. And just taking notes, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the only time you'll hear me speaking at a normal tone of voice, so to speak. I'm always enthusiastic and up and about there for the racing. So just if you want to know what we really both sound like, this is the perfect opportunity to listen in and just hear the real OG gangsters go for it. As we look on the B main results, and it was a winner there, Mr. Brock Clark. He took it. And we got Dollar Dad in second place, the Mexican in third. Rogers with the erection going strong there in fourth place. Jacob Smith off fifth. The British Pig, sixth place himself. The old the Scandinavian flick in Jansen going for it there. We've got George Russell's love child. Elroy, in fact. The price is wrong. Harry Potter there as well. And Munro just rounding out the grid where he realistically should be. Because he talking himself up, you know, the tickets to the Munro show. Oh, well, it must be sold out here in his head. Let's just go racing here. We've got a couple of minutes before the last and final event here in the V8 Supercars. As the chat goes off, we've got Ron and Fabian going on about who's getting in the sim rig and having a good old tussle there as well. They're just having a good old chat. And go for that. No, Jesse, we're not, because it's race on here, and they're on. This is the last and final heat of the night, and Clark's got a beautiful jump there as well. He's sent it straight off, so we are racing already here. The Mitre 10 out of 10 car at the front, leading into turn one. He's got some hot property behind him in the Mexican and Dollar Dad, because the Dollar Dad got jumped off the start there too, and it's still tussling back here at the rear of the grid. We've got the Scandi Flick trying to dart his way through. The gravel is all over the circuit there as well, and we've got Potter thinking about a move on the British Pig. That could be interesting. A Muggle versus a Wizard, in fact, going for these two times at the moment. How come we never saw any other bloody nationalities apart from Russian and British in Harry Potter series? I'll never know. But nonetheless,
certainly no trans.
Clark has lost that lead straight away. Only 4 corners it took for him, so he's given up 2 positions straight away. Price is going up at a rate of knots here. He's gathered those positions up. He's got the old erection in front of him, going for a good old send there too. At the back was Smith on him. So cold tyres around the best part of the bend circuit here. Triple right-hander. No, don't you worry about that. Loaded up to the extent of the full grip limit adhesion of those tyres, and they're going for it here. Hammer and Tongs for the first opening stanza. Absolute dead set opposite of what we saw in the heat. Cars left, right and centre here. Cars are just going single file and racing. They've got their race brains on again, Chris.
Yeah, going back into that old human centipede mode, nose to tail, and that's the best way to go racing in the early stages of some of these races. We saw in that 3-lap shootout, absolute madness out there. People just sending it from miles away. I don't know if that was the best play, Cotton, to be fair. Like, I think just staying on the black stuff and avoiding some of these big old Australia Post sends was probably the best way to go about it. You find yourself up a few positions here and there. You're not going to win the race on lap 1. There's an old saying about if you don't see a gap, you're not a bloody racing driver. Ayrton Senna, mate, I tell you what, too many people buy into that. That's absolute garbage. If you see a gap and you pull out of it, then you know you're an actual real racer, because you've got your wits about you and you know that the race is longer than 1 lap.
No, exactly. Comments from the Supercars, and there goes Rogers. Boy, oh boy, he thought he saw someone out in the spectator land wanting a piece of action. Went out there and just got the old cold shoulder. But Price right now is having a good old crack on Clark. Clark's going backwards here. We've got to think this is on like Donkey Kong, because these two are pretty equal on the pace, and Price has got an actual front splitter on his car this race too. So he's got 2.5 Munros of downforce sitting on the front end of that car, and it's helping him. Oh no! Just a bump and run, and he's tipped him around nearly. They've covered it up, no redress, and even Phantom Man's getting back involved in this one, trying to return serve for Clark there on the field. Oh my goodness me, and here comes Rogers again, right at the back of this one. He's just gone limp in the last couple of races as Rogers, but he's found himself back in the blood flow department. Smith is coming into 4th place. He's got a good old chance here to maybe reconsolidate that position with himself and Smith, but geez Louise, that was hairy stuff. Single file, 5 cars abreast here coming through the back half of the circuit here at the bend. Goodness gracious me, they're all going for it. And a little bit of a suck action here coming for Rogers.
Yeah, really nice, nicely done there. I'd probably want a little bit of a redress there as well. Just a little bump and run. Easy as you like. You could just get out of the throttle, get him back in front there, and away you guys go. A little bit of an apology in the chat too. I'm not too sure if these blokes are sitting in a voice chat together, but we've seen in the past that sometimes that might not be the best option. But up the front, it's getting pretty close here as well between the two guys that came together in race 1 as well. We saw that, and they were in this exact same position too. Dollar Dad was sitting behind the Mexican and just gave him a little bit of curry through, or a little bit of burrito through the final turn, turned him around a little bit as well. But they're only 6 seconds. They've only been going around for a couple of laps, dead set. They're already 6 seconds in front of these lot as well, and they've been battling hard too. But let's go back to these guys and right on board with Pennyfather as well, and see if he can pick his way through. It's a Mustang versus Camaro as well, as we've seen all weekend. Obviously, the Camaro's faster. I don't know if that's the way in iRacing as well, but you know, it's a true-to-life sim. It's very realistic, so you never know. They're probably on par with the older parody wars.
Goodness me.
Maybe in the next update we can get something going on.
The forbidden P word, ladies and gentlemen.
I love pulling it out. I think it's it's a talking point, isn't it?
Yeah, I've heard you love pulling other things out as well, but in terms of your trophies,
I've got 2 kids, so I'm not very good at that.
No. I'm saying in terms of the trophies, you just like to show them off, you know, that sort of stuff. Those dart championship trophies and all that sort of jazz. But there's no trophies here at the moment because the race is still on. And I'll tell you what, Pennyfather hasn't let go. Neither has Smith here, the Phantom Man, and Price right on each other's tails and front bumpers, mind you. Look at Smith here at the moment, just having a good old crack. He's trying to nose it in. Force the unforced error there for Price. He's got foot under the pressure at the moment. It's goodness gracious me, department style. Look at the car behaviour there too. Full oversteer there for Smith on the exit. That was fantastic car control to gather it up. But these two now on exactly the same lap time pace. A 58.6 was Smith's best last lap. And look at that, just noses it in. You can see the slow in, fast out method does work, especially at that corner. And at the moment, Price is just showing Smith how it's done. Smith just needs to get a little bit of a gallop on because that gap is extended by 3 or 4 tenths in 2 corners there, ladies and gentlemen. Cracking stuff. But it's going to be battle on very, very shortly. The same thing's happening here at the front because the Mexicans under all sorts of here from the dad. And they're trying to hand out some inheritance to each other here. Not that the Mexicans got much to give. He can dish out burritos all he wants, but that's not going to pay the bills here for Dollar Dad.
Yeah, tell you what, I wouldn't mind getting paid in black beans and beef shredded burritos. I'll tell you what, the old fat man is just starting to salivate here behind the microphone. Talks of burritos, dead set, it's dinner time in my mind. How's that? But Stephen Varga absolutely just controlling this race here at the moment. It looked like Pennyfather was setting up to make a little bit of an attack, a bit of a lunge there, but Varga just turning on the afterburners and extending that gap now to 6.5 tenths, and that's a great gap. That's all you really... That's a great gap. It's one of the best gaps I've ever seen. That's what you need, folks, to stave off an attack from a fast driver, as we've seen these two guys pretty evenly paced in this round so far. So good luck to those guys, going well. But down here there's a nice little 3-way battle forming between Clark, the British Pig, and Ash Rogers at the front. He is like he's the cork in the bottle here at the moment, and these 3 guys are just getting sorted out, and they're going to start to
Mr. Drifter.
I didn't say I'm going to... No, I'm not going to say. They're going to start to nail the nails into the coffin.
Well, yeah, there could be something. And look at Fabian just giving us something to take home with us. Thanks, Fabian. $3 super chat. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for that very muchly, my dear friend. And the racing is on here with Clark O'Horse looking for a little bit of a move on Rogers, who is absolutely on the blue pill at the moment. 5th place for him he's got something to think about because he wants to be the first in line and also the last, so he doesn't get the old tap on the shoulder. And hopefully he can get himself into 4th place here, but he's got a hell of a gap here. And look at that gap. Oh, descending. Oh, my goodness me, from Clarko Horse. Absolutely on the limit. Locked the front brakes up.
Yeah.
Full 3-wheel power slid that into turn 1. Gathered it up nicely, though. Well, those tyres won't be too happy here. They've got a pit stop to come, ladies and gentlemen, but I reckon it's going to be the old Martin Brundle quote coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. Front tyres more like a 50-cent coin rather than a good old round dollar.
That's the way to do it. Yep, you don't want your coins, you don't want your tyres to start resembling Australian currency. Certainly they'll get blown away in the old international market indeed. But I'll tell you what, 50-cent coin, the octagon of coins. It's not what you want down there in the old flat spot department. I can hear Zach O'Reilly groaning, but it's an 8-sided coin. You don't really get those in the old free world anymore, but you get them out here in the sim world because these guys tend to lock them up. And I swear to God, these Gen 3 cars are very hard to pull up. 2 tons, I think, or 1.5 tons of Australian machinery. I knew that would get a response. Are these even any parts manufactured in Australia? No, nothing.
Yeah, they are. The roll cage and the control parts are manufactured by a couple of engineering companies that are blueprinted as well. So they do support the Aussies. Only just. Everything else is wherever the original bodywork came from, and nothing original happening up the front here. It's unique to see Varga have a little bit of pressure, I would say, here from Pennyfather. He's not used to it being the championship winner, and leader here is the Mexican out in front. And the Dollar Dad just keeping him honest here, saying, mate, I'm not going anywhere. Don't you worry about me. One little error and I'll be right up your clacker. And they're having a good old battle here. Look at that. Different apexes, late entrance, late apexes, you name it. And it comes out with only one result. And it's still the Mexican out in front there. Pennyfather's just going to have to think about it and go for some other strategy here in that purple Mustang himself. I think at this stage, it's looking pretty racy, and that is so deep under brakes. It's going to get back out again. The old Craig Lowndes driving style, the one thing I never understood with him, he'd always be late on the brakes into a corner. You'd look at it, look great on the broadcast, but then he'd come out the other end just as far away as he was when he started the bloody thing. So, look, I'm no expert. I'm just an old washed-up bloody go-karter and a washed-up sim racer and just commentating on the things. So don't take anything from me, ladies and gentlemen. Just go back to the dart trophy king himself, Christopher Munro.
Yeah, 180 is all you need to worry about. 9 darters. Never hit one, but maybe one day. I've been off the dartboard for quite some time now. It's been probably 12 months since I've thrown a dart. I don't want to talk about it, to be fair, but you know how you get the yips in golf. I don't know if that's a term that everyone's familiar with. Look at that, Brock Clark just taking the liberties there on the inside. It just completely missed the road there. I don't know if he's trying to half eat his pizza there that's just been delivered by Uber Eats or whatever, but he's having a little bit of a hard time. Maybe using his phone while driving is not ideal, but now he's just put the phone down and decided he's going to take that the position back off the British Pig. Gets the job done. But the Pig's right there too. I tell you what, he almost gave him a little bit of a clobbering on the way through. But now that gap has extended back out to 8/10. What the hell's going on? Very quick to decide the positions here as well. These guys have just pulled it into the pits as well. There goes Carl. He's done the right thing. Gets out of that battle. Speaking of battles, it's all happening again up the front. These two guys, dead set. I'm looking forward to the start of next season because we're going to have a few more cars on the track, and we're going to see hopefully a few more guys around this skill level as well. So we're going to see not only these two guys battling it out for the lead, but possibly if we can get Luke Fallon in here. Is he watching? Luke Fallon, get involved.
The criminal.
Yeah, the criminal. He's just surpassed 4,000 iRating points, which is, I mean, he's almost on Pokemon level of catching them all here as well. He's on the high score sheet. He's looking good. He's very quick in the GT3s as well, so it'll be good to see if that translates to a little bit of low downforce driving here in the Gen 3s.
No driver aids either, no ABS,
Nope.
no bloody traction control, nothing absolute boat tailing your way around a circuit in the Gen 3s. 100% committed on the brake power and the throttle inputs. That's the way you go driving in these things. And these two are putting on a great show here at the front. Really, really driving well. And they're showing each other how to do it around the bend. They're not letting go of each other. It's gone between 2 tenths to 4 tenths to 3 tenths. You name it. And speaking of naming it, if you get the Sensational TV brand in your head and you want to tell everyone else about it, get them out there. Tell them to give our videos a like if they want, and love a subscription to the channel. Goes a very, very long way. We're on the journey to 2,000. We've hit 1,200 subscribers, I'm pretty sure, as well. And we're looking very, very spicy indeed for the future, and we want to keep bringing it into you. And speaking of bringing that in, that's what the old Dollar Dad's done. He's in the pits now. He's blinked first. He's probably learnt off the off race 1 that we saw, because Varga pitted first and came with a bit of an undercut advantage. So what can the Dollar Dad do? Is Clarko going to go for it? No, he's not. He's just going to keep circulating around, but the old Erection's going to do it. That's a speeding into the pit lane for him. Ooh. That is 100% 1 penalty there for himself. Goodness gracious me, he's gone full Limp Biscuit at the moment, and that is all over for the Erection. Yeah,
I think that looked very telling as well. So we'll see what sort of flags he gets out of that. I'm not too sure. We're still learning this this platform, folks, so I don't know what the penalty is for speeding into the pits. But maybe another little scenic route through the pit lane, just to check out the sights and sounds of the countryside of Adelaide, or wherever this bloody track is, country South Australia. How many hours is it from Adelaide exactly? I'd imagine it's 2 or 3. It looks absolutely out in the middle of nowhere. Great motorsport complex nonetheless. And, tell you what, these guys now back out on the circuit after a couple of little pit stops. 15 minutes in to a 45-minute feature. 16 laps is the ticket. We're gonna have to keep an eye very much on the on that feature 15-minute 45 graphic there, because we don't have the lap times, and I couldn't figure out how to pull that up. Maybe for next week. It's all a learning curve here, folks, but I feel like every gap is just about the same here. Let's look. The closest one here is Ramjam Potter, is on the back of B. Clark at the moment, turning the I can't keep saying turning the screws. This is the second time I've said it tonight, and I've got to stop because it's like, well, I say it all the time, Zach. It's one of those things I've got to take out of the old vocabulary book and bring it out when it actually means something, because if you say something too many times, it loses all meaning. Like if you say doorstop, if you say that 50 times in a row, it's just a bunch of sounds. Anyway, here comes Potter using the old pit stopper-armus, getting the new tyres on, a bit more fuel in, and he will attack the next stint of this race with some gusto.
With some gusto indeed, and just that's a new one from Chris, who got rid of the ums and ahs from the Munro vocabulary and just entered turn the screws.
Yeah, I'll just say
that's
instead.
Just whatever, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. It's a lot better than the old ums and ahs. But look at it. We're all learning here. We're all pretty new in this caper, and at the moment, Pennyfather's just showing how the new guys how to do it. In fact, just skips around the outside there of Russell's love child and thinks about what he can do. Maybe Russell's love child just starting to think about what he's actually doing with his life with that sort of pace. But don't worry, he'll be up there. Don't you worry about that. 2:02 is his last lap. So he had a bit of a shocker. 59.1 though, however, is a good time. So keep it up there, George. You'll be right there. And get yourselves back into it. And he's in this race. He's in 5th place without any tomfoolery coming his way. So he's on there by merit. Top 5 at the moment. Looking pretty good here for this big man. But it's still Varga leading this race. Pennyfather's the next closest on track. And if you look at it, it was 0.2 of a second between those two, Pennyfather and Varga, when they came into when Varga came flying past the start-finish straight and Pennyfather went into the pits. So if you work out the gaps there, ladies and gentlemen, what's that? That's 42 plus a bit now. Seconds is what it takes to go through the pit lane, and that is the man in there. So where is Pennyfather on the track? Let's go and quickly check to him. He's in the final sector here, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a right-hand turn, then a left, then 2 rights, and he's back onto the front straightaway. This could be very close as you trundle down the pit lane, and not if he does that. And he's looped it and lost it completely. That's the old undercut gone there for the old Dollar Dad. Oh, goodness me. He'll be looking at cents rather than dollars. I'll tell you what, in the future after that one, just giving away the race lead there for sure. And Vargas just exiting the pits now. Himself, oh no, he's not. He's in the pits. He's still up on the bouts on the jack stands, but he's right there at the pit exit. He's jumped down now and he's on the move. So we're out. And here comes Dollar Dad. He's on the final turn here. In fact, it's just about to come down the front straight away over the start-finish line. But Vargas got a straight and a half. That would have been a undercut and a half there from Dollar Dad, Christopher. And he's just giving it all away with that spin.
Yeah, 3.8 seconds now the difference, and that was pretty much what it would have been. Had he kept that together as well, that would have been fantastic to see on Sensational TV. But don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen, because we'll be broadcasting this series starting when the next one fires up. We're going to talk to the men in command here, and we'll be back on your screens for the next time we go live here for the Gen 3 Supercars. They look fantastic. I'll tell you what, something that iRacing does great compared to the other sims is the body language of the cars. Look at how it just jumped over that sausage curb there. Just looks fantastic. There's no buggery. There's no weird physics things. I know I have seen weird physics things in iRacing before, but the way they just go about the track, don't worry about contact physics, but how they hit the curbs and how they just handle themselves with the weight transfer just looks fantastic. And I am looking forward to doing a whole season in these cars. I reckon they're going to be an absolute riot.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree less with you there, Christopher. They do look good.
Couldn't agree less?
Yeah.
You mean more?
No, it means I fully agree with you, and I couldn't do any less.
Right. Oh, geez, it's like talking to an American person and saying you couldn't care less, and they say, "Well, no, you could care less."
Well, that means
have you ever heard that?
Well, yeah, you could care less. I've heard of that one, but you could
care less.
Yeah. I'm going to stamp it in there and just say I've just eliminated any possibility of me agreeing more or less than you. You know, it's just. Yeah, there you go. Look at that for a slide there from old nice. George Russell's son. Goodness gracious me. Smith's just gone straight past him. So has Price is wrong, and they're going to skip away. Georgeson's into the pits there. So this could be a cracking little battle for these.
User disconnected from your channel.
Oh, Zach has just left the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's just he's just left the goodness me. Anyway, he'll join his way back in, I'm sure, but maybe I think he's lost power. I reckon that's what's happened here, folks. There was a storm right on his bunda, but now we are racing Jeff Price and Smith side by side. Smith going off the circuit. That is a little bit wide there, but he manages to get back on and now down into turn 6. That is the left-hand hairpin. Now get back on the power, and look at that. Jeff Price just coming good here at the end. He seems to go a lot quicker now that he's got a bit of front downforce there. That front bar looking a lot better than it was in the old days. Could connect less, says Jesse Marshall. Yeah, dead set. That was I reckon that's what's happened there. He's been absolutely yeeted in the old power department. And he's gone. Melbourne's copped a storm. Multi Ninja is laughing. Jesse says 100% me. All right, we've got, 19 minutes? 19, 20, I don't know. You guys are the experts. You're telling me Russia's in the east. Dead set. I feel like it's a western country. I'll get the old geography major onto it. Maybe we can sort that out, but dead set. Who cares where Russia is? Come on, Jesse, give me a bloody break. Excuse me. The closest battle on track, though, is down here. It's Wade Georgeson. He is 1.6 seconds on the back of Janssen. You can see Janssen just there in front. He's got a nice little livery there. A lot going on, but perfectly done. Eastern Europe. Yeah. 20. Yeah. I know. We're not here to learn stuff. We're here to watch racing. And I'll tell you what, Jansen's just overcooked it. And here comes Georgeson through. He goes. Elroy says thank you very much and gets on his little futuristic scooter bike and goes, thank you very much for the rabbits, and he goes through to 8th position. Varga still leads with Pennyfeather on his 6, but it's about 5.4 seconds the difference here. So Varga just turning the screws late in this one. Ah! Oh, geez, I can't stop saying that. I really need to get a new catchphrase. What about it's on like Donkey Kong? Can I say that as much as Zach has said it in the past? I don't know. I can't say that. That's just crazy stuff. But anyway, Pennyfather. 5 seconds of difference. Closest, oh, here we go. Ramjam Potter up the back of Clark here. 1.1 seconds the difference. It's right on board. And let's get in the cockpit and just see. I tell you what, folks, that is a terrible driving technique. Look at how straight his arms are. How far away is he back from his seat? This is stuff. I don't know. All you New Zealanders are out there, or I don't know if you've ever seen that that ad on New Zealand TV. Oh, when I'm blazed, my dad drives. Or when my dad's blazed, he drives like this. And he puts his arm up and he's all straight on the top. Oh, see, I'll tell you what. When my dad's blazed, he drives like this. Tell you what, that's what they're looking like here in the old iRacing sim rain. Look at that, straight arming the thing. These guys are men. Don't you worry about that. Absolute men. And we're here for it, folks. Let's get a better camera angle there. That was absolute rubbish. But here we go. Ramjam Potter right up the back here of Brody Clark. Brock Clark. I keep getting that because there's a Brody Clark in our other leg. Now they go side by side now down into turn 1. It looks like the Camaro has got the better of it. Slides up the inside. Can he get it pulled up? He does. The Mitre 10 has gone back to the old hardware store, getting the sander out and getting that job done. Gets back. And it's 2x2 as they go. Aussie Sim Racing, Ramjam Potter waving the magic wand here, trying to hold off Clark, but he does so there, just putting on the aftermurders and making that gap back out to about half a second. Yeah, I know. It's been a long day, BZ. We've been, obviously, Bath has been on. We've had a little bit of adult beverage as well. I hope it's entertaining for you folks out there. That's what we're here for. And yeah, it is an epic ad. Oh, my dad drives like this. Even we've seen it over here on the other side of the ditch. That's how good that was. New Zealand known for their ads. It's fantastic. They do great stuff. Thank you, Multi Ninja. It's tough work going from a double commentary thing to a solo, especially when there's not really much happening out on track in terms of action. So we get to explore the innermost dark thoughts of the Munro psyche. Zach's shaking his head right now, thinking, oh, we don't need to get into philosophy here. But we do, folks. It's all part of the learning curve here at Sensational TV. If anyone has Discord, jump in. I could use a co-commentator for the last couple of laps. Fabian, I'm talking to you, son. I know you've been on the piss for about 12 hours now, so that'll be a good time. So come and join me. I'm gonna look in the old Discord. Oop. There we go. There we go. Jump in the general there in, yeah, I'm a one-man band. I can do that. That's what I do for a job. But here we go. The fight's on here. Looks like Clark's right up behind Potter here. Potter's got the stop out. He's looking for Ron and what's the girl's name? She was great. I gotta go and watch those movies again. Fantastic. But Clark looking great guns here at the moment through the right hand complex down there in sector 2. Really burns up your left hand tires. Dad, turn your lap back on. It's all gone to shit here, ladies and gentlemen. It is after dark. Welcome to the adults-only section of Sensational TV. We've got 10 cars on the track. This is actually a close little battle here, so we will commentate it in some sort of professional manner, but we have been on the piss all day. Don't you worry, it is Bathurst Day. Everybody, welcome to the stream. If you haven't been there already, let's fix it. Hey, didn't even notice we were sitting in half screen. Woo, wowee. Zach's rolling over in his grave right now. Great, Chris, a hand in the give. Oh, goodness me. Is that even English, Jesse Marshall? Here we go. Brock Clark's just had a bit of an off there, and that brings a conclusion to that little battle. Don't you worry about that. They're off. Wade Georgeson is 39 seconds behind this group as well. So we're getting up there in the old lap department. We're getting close to the end of this lap, to the end of this race. It's a 16 lap race. I'd like to know how many laps we've done, but we're in Varga at the moment because he is the championship winner here, folks, in season 5 of Aussie not New Zealand, just Aussie. No New Zealanders allowed. Sorry, Fabian. Sorry, whoever else is on the other side of the Dutch. Just gonna have to do your best and maybe come in later, bro. But I'll tell you what. Tell you what, my dad drives like this. When he's blazed, he drives like this. There's no one in the general chat. I'm in there now. Come and join me, folks. Let's send season 5 off with a bang. It's the last lap, actually. We're on board with Stephen Varga. He has been absolutely fantastic this season and untouchable, so much so that he came into this final round knowing that he had the championship absolutely sewed up like a grandma's doily. Ladies and gentlemen, look at him there in the Quantum team. Beautiful colours, beautiful livery as well. The Camaro doing Camaro things in the parity stakes as well, just giving it to the Ford Mustang as well. Hopefully they can get that fixed up in game, folks, because it's too late now, Fabian, because it's done. This is the final lap, folks. Stephen Varga is on the final lap of this season 5 championship, and he's been too good. He's taken out a number of victories as well. He's been fastest all year. We saw, we saw in this race as well, just getting a little helping hand from Pennyfather, who was there for the most part as well. But when it came down to it, one mistake was the gap between these two guys now. 7.3 seconds is the gap, but we finally, I think we're going to catch an ending. And Fabian Fitness joins us, so I'll tell you what, do you want to commentate on this guy taking it across the line? Let's see if I can give you the vision. It's Stephen Varga crossing the line for the final time. He will take victory here, not only in the race, but in the championship. Stephen Varga, take a bow, and I welcome Fabian Fitness to the commentary box. Good to see you. Good to see you, mate.
31 minutes of the race, so I'm not sure how the race is finished, but clearly okay.
Yeah, we've had some issues in the teething process with getting used to iRacing and its UI and broadcasting issues. So it's all about just keeping an eye on when the white flag comes out sometimes, because in a timed race it gives you that, but in a lapped race apparently it just gives you the time as well. But I'm sure there's something I can do. But look at that, Varga just doing some burnouts there, some celebratory burnouts, not only for the win in the race, but the championship as well. I tell you what, this this series could do with a few Kiwis, I reckon. Fabian Fitness, what do you reckon about that? Dip your toe into the iRacing
Oh yeah, 100%. Once we win the lottery, we can definitely start looking at getting into iRacing. The benefit in New Zealand is not enough to really be able to afford a subscription service like that, but we'll definitely try. And we've got Dollar Mother second place, only 7 seconds behind. It's not too bad.
Yeah, not bad at all, actually. Dollar Mother, Dollar Daddy did a great job. Price finishing in third position. Smith in fourth. We got Brittingham, Potter, Clark, Jansen, Georgeson, and Rogers and myself rounding out the field. Only 10 cars on the field tonight. I feel like maybe it's that last round blues. There was a lot of guys out there probably on the piss today watching the real thing V8s go around. Probably had a few too many red cordials and thought, you know what, Varga's got this in the bag. Why should I even bother? But maybe they didn't know that Sensational was streaming and they could have had the time of their lives.
Well, especially with the expert commentary that we provide and you boys provide especially.
Yep.
Varga, Penny Farber, Price. I don't think there's any Kiwis there in the top 3 or 4 or top 10 actually. But maybe if it rained, there might have been 1 or 2 might have crept their way up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they had a few more sheep on the course as well, just pop them on the start-finish line as a... I'm just eating.
Well, yeah, it's like dangling the carrot out the front of the fucking car instead of the carrot just hanging sheep. And I'll tell you one thing.
The Kiwis will
dominate.
Yeah, come fast and hard. I tell you, very, very fast and hard. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that is enough out of us tonight. It's been a long day, and I'm looking forward to getting right stuck in with this series next time around the traps. So we're going to have a little break, maybe 2 weeks, and then we're going to be back with the GEN3 Supercars here at Aussie Sim Racing. But Stephen Varga is your champion, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for him. Let's give him a little clap in the Discord, in the stream. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. As I said, it's been a long day. It would have been very lonely without y'all in the chat. So give us a subscribe and a like on the video if you have tuned in and enjoyed the show. My name is Chris Munro. Fabian Fitness joining me for the very end, and thank you very much, sir, for jumping in at very late notice.
No doubt, bro. It was good to actually jump on after the race and watch some more racing. So made my day, made my afternoon.
Excellent.
And it was good to talk to the boys of the chat. It was awesome.
Excellent to hear. We've got plenty more racing coming up on Sensational TV this week. Tuesday night is our busiest night of the week as well. We've got GD3 action from Aussie Sim Racing here in iRacing. We've got GD3 action from ACC from Fargon Racing. We've got the Wednesday. We've got the Formula Fridays for Fargon on Friday. And more action in the future as well. So sit tight, everyone. My name is Chris Munro. That is Fabian Fitness. That was Zach O'Reilly until the storm took out his power. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. We are out. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.